It's my privilege to speak to you today about the power of big data and psychographics.
And he had a bunch of theories. One was that you could create an environment that really spoke psychographically to people, and you could really get under their skin, and you could really convince them that you were on their side and you understood them and that you were predicting what they wanted.
Psychographics.
And that if you focused on a psychographic of people, you could really be successful. And I watched as he created a very innovative identification system for MTV. If you remember the Big M, I mean, this was unheard of in television. You never saw graphics like that. And it was graphics that were meant to be graffitied. The desire behind MTV was to get every teenager in America and young adult to be scribbling MTV on their notebooks.
When Cambridge Analytica joined the Trump campaign, we were an attractive proposition.
Nothing but goodwill for kids in my bones. I love kids more than anything. It's just, you know, I would never do anything to hurt a kid.
Where does slime come from?
You think that slime is just a silly nothing, but it had deep psychological...
It's an institution at this point.
I was learning about the internet and learning about what you could do to even get closer to your audience than we'd ever been able to with television.
And had collected a huge amount of voter data and research, which we were able to hand over to the Trump team. By having hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Americans undertake this survey,
We were able to form a model where we have somewhere close to 4,000 or 5,000 data points we can use to predict the personality of every adult in the United States.
Imagineering is an institution that Walt Disney created to bring scientists into the creative process or technologists, and just a great tradition and very wonderful inventions responsible for lots of the theme park stuff and special effects. And
because it's personality that drives behavior, and behavior that obviously influences how you vote. We could then start to target people with highly targeted digital video content.
We had a project called Telefusion that we were running out of the Imagineering group and my group, and that was the fusion of television and online.
They used artificial intelligence, you know, how they were mining details from Facebook. And he was like, it's creepy, Carol. He said, you know, the amount of information you can get on people just give it to you. And he sort of said, it's just so creepy.
If you want to fundamentally change society, you first have to break it. And it's only when you break it is when you can remold the pieces into your vision of a new society.
You know, the wealthiest companies are technology companies. Google, Facebook, Amazon, Tesla.
They're everywhere in the country, but the persuadables that mattered were the ones in swing states.
The reason why these companies are the most powerful companies in the world is because last year data surpassed oil in its value.
And if you targeted enough persuadable people in the right precincts, then those states would turn red instead of blue.
Data is the most valuable asset on Earth. These companies are valuable because they have been exploiting people's assets.
Our creative team designed personalized content to trigger those individuals.
Terrorists love porous borders, widespread gaps in border security.
She said that basically psychographics should be classified as a weapon.
We bombarded them through blogs, websites, articles, videos, ads, every platform you can imagine.
Psychographically.
until they saw the world the way we wanted them to.
Psychographically.
Until they voted for our candidate. To change your behavior.
To change your behavior.
You send your data out, it gets analyzed, and it comes back at you as targeted messaging.
Crooked Hillary, and the zeros, the OO of crooked were a pair of handcuffs. We made creative, hundreds of different kinds of creative, and we put it online. She belongs behind bars.
And you have created this?
Defeat Crooked Hillary. And then we just put information into the bloodstream in the internet, and then watch it grow. And so this stuff infiltrates the online community.
Infiltrates the online community.
And expands. But with no branding. So it's unattributable, untrackable.
Infiltrates the online community.